Oke, selamat datang kembali di Noise Game, dan kali ini kita akan nonton live spesial program ya. Ini live spesial program. Oke, ini udah mulai kan? Ini udah mulai ya? Kayak ini masih loading. Belum ya? Udah live kan? Masih belum mulai tuh, gimana nih? Kayak masih nunggu ya. Ini masih nunggu sih, ini belum muncul sepertinya ya. Di sini di Honkai Starrel-nya. Skip isi patch itu. Mana ini? Cek di Twitch ya. Ini belum muncul di ini. Kita cek di Twitch apakah dia udah mulai. Sama aja ya, belum. Untuk di Twitch juga belum mulai nih. Di Twitch belum. Ini barengan sih harusnya ya. Nah, ini masih loading kayak gini. Tes. Ini masih belum mulai kah? Masih belum ya, ini lama banget. Ya, Campaster ini mana ini? Kagak ada. Ini udah habis tuh waktunya, belum muncul. Oke, muncul ya. Sip.
It's fortunate I could make it. My divination results predicted you making a fool of yourself. The show is about to start. Make sure you remember these words. You wouldn't want to tarnish the Xianzhou's reputation now, would you?
No, Master Diviner.
After me. Fulgurant Leap.
Cuman ini bahasanya nggak ada bahasa Indonesia.
Epical Spectrum.
Apical Spectrum.
Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle.
Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle.
The Swarm Disaster.
The Swarm Disaster.
Audience.
Audience.
Not bad. Make sure you recite them a few more times.
Master Diviner,
What is it now?
how do you say this one?
High Cloud Quintet.
We honor those who have passed on. We place items of the dead onto star skiffs
Ini cutscene ya.
and send them out to sail
Di sini
between the
ada
stars,
perahu kapal
to
Liu ya.
shine brightly among them.
Before you leave, please make time to recuperate. I must attend to some Cloud Knight matters. Farewell for now.
Kayak di sini muncul Puswana.
All things in this world have their laws.
Bagus sih animasinya. Animasinya bagus banget.
You know that I'm a descendant of the lawful Vidyadhara. You witnessed
Kayaknya untuk
my
Danheng ya.
secret
Yeah.
strength, as March would call it.
Yaps. Nah ini adalah skillnya. Ini parah
As
sih
you
skillnya.
can see, we added a few things to the
Kayak di
simulated
sini sebenarnya kita
universe.
akan ketemu lagi dengan apa ini?
Stephen Lloyd thinks this is a big
Ini nggak
achievement.
ada bahasa Indonesia.
We call it Simulated Universe. The Swarm Disaster.
Ya di sini ada links ya. Links. Wih, keren nih. Wallpapernya bagus. Kayak ini ada rhythm code ya. Elan Lan Pepiget 8 HFT Lan Pepiget 8 HFT. Kayak di sini Herta ya. Kayaknya kita akan bertemu dengan Herta lagi. Kayak sih udah mulai.
And whether or not your world has a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and you know the rest. Welcome to the version 1.3 Celestial Eyes Above Mortal Ruins special program. As always, your good buddy Albert's here to bring you all the latest intel on the upcoming version. Today, our three special guests are...
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Wiedenheft and I voice Fu Xuan.
What's up,
Oke,
guys? I'm
Sarah
Angelica
di sini,
Panini, and I
Anjali
voice Su Shang.
Hey Trailblazers, I'm Nicholas Leung, and I voice Dan Heng.
Welcome, welcome, and welcome again. I gotta say, that trailer was loaded with details on the new version. Sarah, anything stand out for you?
Well, I'm always excited for story updates, but that last segment caught my eye too. The swarm disaster? Was that it? It looked pretty intense.
I know. Did Herta upgrade the simulated universe again? You know, my Trailblazer senses are tingling.
The simulated universe will be getting some significant updates in version 1.3, but that's for later in the program. First, let's take a look at the new characters joining the war. First on the list, and finally revealing his true power, we have Dan Heng, Imbibiter Lune.
Inhibitor Lunei. Oke, ini adalah promotion ya. Ini ya untuk skill ya. Basic attack. Kayak ini skill first, skill 2-nya, skill kedua, skill ketiga. Jadi untuk skillnya itu bisa ditekan 3 kali ya. Ini adalah ultimate. Ultimate dia naga ya untuk ultimate.
Whoa, okay. So March wasn't bluffing. Dan Heng does have secret strength. But why would he suddenly reveal it after hiding it for so long?
Nicholas Leung ya.
Let's not forget, he
aktor Inggris.
did get impaled. Yeah, I think if he'd kept it under wraps any longer, he might have had trouble staying alive. Desperate times, desperate measures.
Okay, it makes sense, but why the secrecy up till then?
Well, to answer that question, we gotta talk about Dan Heng's previous incarnation, Dan Feng, a member of the High Cloud Quintet.
That's right. I'm sure Trailblazers will have noticed that certain characters in the story have been referring to Dan Heng as Imbibitor Lunay. But Imbibitor Lunay is actually a title handed down as part of the Lawfu Vidyadhara High Elder succession. The person they're referring to here isn't Dan Heng, but Dan Feng. Dan Feng was once the Lawfu Vidyadhara High Elder. He achieved great deeds for the Xianzhou in wartime, but ultimately committed an unforgivable sin.
Wait, but if Dan Heng's still alive, then Dan Feng's sin can't have been that unforgivable, right?
I think someone pulled a few strings. There's only one guy in the law who would risk the Xianzhou's reputation like that. Jing Yuan.
Is that what a little bird told you, Albert? I never knew owls were so gossipy.
Oh, no. Jing Yuan's not to blame this time. The head of the Xianzhou Vidyadhara, the High Elder, possesses the power to transform into a dragon. The method of entrusting this power to the next head is a closely guarded secret, and the responsibility of each High Elder. We don't know the full story, but Dan Feng misused this method and sparked a terrible calamity. As a result, the Vidyadhara grew to hate Dan Feng, but executing him would have brought an end to the High Elder succession. They decided to use an exuviation charm, forcing him to reincarnate. Which is why Dan Heng is alive and well today.
The world of the Vidyadhara is complicated.
But why would Dan Feng cause so much trouble? I suspect there are a few more secrets waiting for us down the line.
Ah, the allure of the unknown. But fear not, Trailblazers. A banquet of delicious secrets awaits you. Now, let's take a look at how secret strength Dan Heng handles himself on the battlefield.
As an imaginary type character following the path of destruction, Dan Heng, Imbibitor Lunay's specialty, is consuming multiple skill points to trigger an array of powerful abilities. Tapping the skill button enhances the effects of Imbibitor Lunay's basic attack, Beneficent Lotus, up to 3 times in succession. Depending on the number of enhancements, Beneficent Lotus becomes Transcendence, Divine Spear, and Fulgurant Leap, respectively. Hits per action and damage dealt increase with each enhancement. Additionally, single target damage is replaced with multiple target damage in both Divine Spear and Fulgurant Leap.
In Imbibitor Lunay's talent, Righteous Heart, amplifies the damage he deals as the number of hits per action in the current turn increases.
Sounds like skill point management is going to be pretty important for Imbibitor Lunay's allies.
Hold that thought. When using his ultimate, Imbibitor Lunay deals imaginary damage to a single target and adjacent enemies, while also receiving a set amount of Squama Sacrosancta. Squama Sacrosancta can be used to offset Imbibitor Lunay's skill point consumption.
Man, Secret Strength Dan Heng is kind of a one-man band.
But that's not all. Imbibitor Lunay's technique, Heaven Quelling Prismadraken, allows him to enter a leaping dragon state for a set time. In this state, using an attack causes Imbibitor Lunay to lunge forwards a set distance and strike all enemies he comes into contact with. Entering battle in this way allows Imbibitor Lunay to acquire a set amount of Squama Sacrosancta.
And lo, such is the frightful power of the High Elder. Now that we've introduced Secret Strength Dan Heng, let's move on to an old friend of ours, the Master Diviner, Lady Fushuen.
Oke, Lady Puxuan nih. Kita lihat Puxuan nih. Wait deh. Oke, dia lawan musuh sepertinya. Wish. Oh, ini elemennya elemen waktu ya. Wush, keren sih.
Oh, her first encounter with the
Oke, itu bagus
Trailblazers was
banget ya
pretty
untuk
impressive.
animasi
From
Puxuan itu
high
paling bagus
above,
ya.
amid a hail of bullets, came the
Wush, ini
words.
Your
gayanya
every
juga
move
bagus ya.
has been foreseen.
By the Omnisia.
Oke, ini keren banget sih Puxuan.
Okay, you gotta admit, her bullet deflection game is on
Oke,
point.
untuk Puxuan coba kita lihat untuk skillnya ya.
How'd she fare against a Star Knot, though?
Oh yeah, I can't see her swatting one of those out of the
Ini
sky.
keren sih, keren banget sih untuk
Fu
promosi
Xuan might have
Puxuan.
something to say about that. Our hexagrammatic position is fluctuating
bagus
between the
banget.
earth
Xuan ya?
and water trigrams. What do we have to fear? Let us counter this menace directly with the might of the
Preservation.
Xianzhou.
Oh, Sishang translation. Hexagram says let's do this.
I think the Divination Commission would benefit from having Su Shang as a translator.
Yes.
Common kayaknya nih.
The omnisia on Fu Xuan's forehead is a mysterious instrument that allows her to calculate her every move in advance. However, the immortal bodies of the Xianzhou natives exhibit adverse reactions to external augmentation. While the omnisia may grant her incredible computational abilities, it also causes her pain and exhaustion.
Well, with great power, you know the rest.
That explains Fu Xuan's reliance on bubble tea, then, huh? I heard she drinks like 10 cups of Immortal's Delight a day.
Hey, that sounds like gossip to me. What if Immortal's Delight is just heckin' delicious?
I suspect it is, though I'm sure the sugar helps. Running the Divination Commission and divining the fortunes of the Xianzhou, it's an exhausting gig.
Alright, Anjali's right. No more bubble tea gossip. By way of apology, how about I treat everyone to 10 cups of Immortal's Delight after the show?
Yes! Now we're talking.
Skillnya Puxuan.
Let's talk about bubble tea there. It's time to take a look at how the Master Diviner showcases her abilities on the battlefield. Fu Xuan
Okay, now
is a
Xuan.
quantum-type character, following the path of preservation. But where other path of preservation characters mainly use shields for defense, Fu Xuan takes a different road.
Precisely.
Kan
After
dia,
using her skill, Fu Xuan activates the
tipe
Matrix of Prescience,
bug
which
ya?
lasts for a set number of turns.
Untuk damage-nya
This
jadi dibagi
allows
rata
Fu Xuan
ke
to
tim
absorb
ya?
some of that damage for her allies.
Jadi
When the Matrix of
damage-nya
Prescience is
itu dibagi
active,
rata
it
ke
grants
tim
the knowledge
dan
effect to the
Puxuan
entire
yang
team,
paling tinggi
increasing
untuk
characters'
menerima
max
damage.
HP and crit rate. Fu Xuan's talent offers a variety of effects. Firstly, Fu Xuan can provide a permanent misfortune avoidance state, reducing the damage taken by the entire team. Secondly, when Fu Xuan's HP drops below a set percentage, she recovers a set percentage of HP.
POV, your Fu Xuan's
Oke, nah,
enemy.
ketika HP
Why are my
Puxuan
attacks
sekarat,
healing
dia
her?
akan mengeluarkan
That's
pasifnya.
not all.
Pasifnya
Fu
langsung.
Xuan's ultimate deals quantum damage to all enemies, but it also
ini adalah
increases the
ultimate.
frequency of her talent's HP restoration effect. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, Fu Xuan's technique can grant a barrier for the whole team that lasts for a set duration. During
untuk ini,
exploration, the
ngeluarin
barrier blocks all
barrier
enemy
ya. Oh,
attacks,
jadi dia nggak kena-
thereby
kena
preventing
attack ya?
battles that would otherwise have triggered in
Jadi
this
tak kena
way.
attack.
Her technique also activates the Matrix of Prescience automatically at the start of the next battle.
That's our Master Diviner.
Oke, jadi untuk tekniknya itu ya.
And
Jadi nggak bisa
No
dikena
wonder
attack.
she's got her sights set on the general's
Keren
ship.
sih.
See, her style is very different to Jing Yuen's, but being a defensive backbone for her team is equally respectable. And you won't find her gardening or playing chess on the job either.
I didn't say it.
Jadi
Moving
untuk skillnya
swiftly
Puxuan dia akan
on to
nambah
our final
apa ya?
character.
Nambah HP.
It's time we introduce the
Dia
young
juga
girl from
anti
Bellabah,
debuff kalau nggak salah ya.
Lynx Landau.
Dan dia nambah crit rate. Oke, di sini ada karakter baru ya, bintang 4. Ini ada tipe healer ya. Dia berdasarkan max HP untuk healnya. Terus dia mirip ini sih, mirip Natasha ya. Skillnya.
Surname
Oke,
ring
ini
a
ada Links ya.
bell?
Link.
You got it. She's the
Link
younger
Quantum
sister of
Abun
Sir Paul and
Dance. Nah,
Japard
ini healer
Landa.
lagi ya.
Yeah, is
Ini
it
udah
just
lama
me,
banget
or
nih.
should everyone in the overworld be taking tips
Yang
from
nggak dapet
Lynx?
Luoka
She's the
ini
only
harus dapet
person I've
Lynx
seen
sih
who's
ya.
dressed for the Eternal Freeze. Like, are the majority of Balabagians frost resistant or something?
I think those geomarrow
Lynx
heaters
ini
keep the
cocok
temperature
dengan-
relatively comfortable within the confines of the city.
Cocok
Oh,
dengan
so
ini.
Lynx's winter gear is for
Dengan
venturing
Blade ya.
outside
Kalau
the
nggak salah,
city,
skillnya
right?
cocok dengan Blade.
You got it. Lynx has always been drawn to the horizon. The centuries-old records of Jarilo VI's vibrant past, the beautiful auroras described by her teachers, the heroic tales of the Landau family. All of it pertains to the world beyond the city walls, what the Belabagians call the snow plains. Compared with her sister's enthusiasm and her brother's seriousness, Lynx is somewhat introverted and comfortable with solitude. She often ventures out alone into the perilous snow plains, which has allowed her to hone her wilderness survival skills.
Ooh, she's gonna be the world's smallest survival expert.
Now, she may be small, but she packs a punch. Let's dive right in and see just how powerful this snow plains explorer really is.
Yeah, Lynx is a quantum type character following the path of abundance who provides a variety of healing for her team. Her skill can restore HP to a single
skillnya ya.
ally and grant them survival response for a set number of
Dia
turns,
mengheal sih.
boosting their max HP. If an ally with survival response follows the paths of destruction or preservation, the likelihood of them being targeted by enemy attacks increases.
Increased enemy aggression? Guess they're not fans of whatever's in that tin.
Oh, dia apa?
Can't say that I blame them.
My, that looks like
Tandai
fermented
teman
herring.
nih, jadi
Ooh, it's
temannya
my
itu yang
favorite.
bikin
You guys want to try some?
No, I'm good.
No. Can you forget about the contents of the tin? This is a useful ability.
I'll say this. Directing enemy aggression towards characters who can take a hit is kinda genius.
Does she have any edible tricks up her sleeve?
This one looks safe for consumption. Lynx's ultimate restores health too and dispels one debuff from each ally.
That thing's huge!
I know. Yo, talk about a hard pill to swallow, huh?
Yeah.
Anyone? Sarah? No? Anjali?
See, I'm just wondering how she even fits it in her backpack.
Sometimes big things come in small packages. You know, I forgot to mention Lynx's talent. It can grant a continuous healing effect to targets of her skill and ultimate for a set number of turns. This effect will further restore a set amount of HP to characters with survival response. Similarly, her technique can also grant a continuous healing effect for a set number of turns, but to the entire team. Talk about being a reliable healer.
That's our little Snow Plains Explorer. We can all breathe a little easier with her on the team. Well, that concludes
Okay.
our new character
Apa nih?
introductions.
Ini
Next
nggak ada
up,
terjemahannya.
let's take a look at the brand new 5-star light cones coming to the warp in version 1.3. To get us started, how about a path of
Oke,
destruction
ini adalah
light cone
brilliant
brighter than the sun?
visionnya ini.
Is there anything brighter than the sun?
If there is, we
Untuk
should tell
Lycon,
Imbibitor Lune about
ini
it.
bibit terlalu
Someone needs some vitamin D.
Hey, come on. He's looking pretty good for a man suspended in chains. You know what I mean? Yeah?
Fair point. Now, on to a path of preservation light cone.
Poor girl. Everything
Application,
changed in an
she
instant.
already
Thrown
set
suddenly
her
into an
age.
endless reliance on
Keren.
bubble tea.
Oh, speaking of bubble
Tampilannya.
tea, Albert, any chance we can fast track that offer? Yeah.
No. Now, during the first phase of version 1.3 in the character warp, Epical Spectrum, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Don Hung and Imbibitor Lune. And in the corresponding light cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star light cone, brighter than the sun, will be boosted. During the second phase of version 1.3 in the character warp, foreseen, foreknown,
Foreseen,
foretold,
foreknown,
Trailblazers can obtain the limited
foretold.
5-star character Fushwin. Not to mention
Karakter
the
event
4-star
warp-nya
character
yang
Lynx,
pertama.
who will also be joining the warp. Yes! During the corresponding light cone event warp, the
Ini
drop rate of the
yang pertama
5-star
yang mana
light
dulu?
cone she already shut her eyes will be
Pushuan
boosted.
dulu atau inhibitor dulu?
And that's all she wrote on light cones and warps. But don't leave just yet now. More exciting updates are right around the corner.
Nah, itu pushuan dulu apa inhibitor dulu ya? Oke, ini BA7MCHF A9HWX ya. BA7MCHF A9HWX. Tetapi yang bannernya mana dulu ya itu? Untuk bannernya itu yang mana dulu tadi? Harusnya inhibitor dulu kan? Inhibitor Lune. Terus pushuan. Oke, di sini
Welcome
kita
back,
coba
dear
dijelasinnya
viewers.
sih.
Let's pick up where we left
Oh,
off.
ini langsung
In
masuk
the preceding
ke
story,
ini ya.
and
Langsung
thanks to
masuk
the
ke
collaborative
story.
efforts of Jingyuan and Dan Heng, Fantilia was banished and the Ambrosial Arbor crisis was resolved. And yet, as the dust settles, easing the fears
Story
of the
of
citizenry becomes
Sequest
a new
perform
priority.
along
Rightly
the hit.
so. Helping people get back to their old lives is a big part of
Di sini ada
rebuilding.
Heng,
And
ada-
more
ada
often than
inhibitor
not,
Lune,
responding to a
terus
disaster is trickier than
pushuan,
preventing one.
Jingyuan.
In version 1.3, the Trailblaze mission obsequies performed, A Long Road Ahead, will reveal a glimpse of the Xianzhou's recovery efforts. We'll also be
juga ada
seeing the likes of 4
companion
new
mission ya.
companion
Di sini ada
missions.
totalnya ada
The
4 ya.
Dragon Returns Home,
Ada
Total
Dragon
Recall,
Returns Home,
Farther
Total
Than the Snow
Recall,
Plains, and
Total-
Mohashle.
In The Dragon Returns Home, we find Dan Heng in the turbulent wake of the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. He must face up to his past life and meet with the current Vidyadhara High Elder, Lady Bai Lu.
Meanwhile, in Total Recall, March 7th makes a big decision. Having witnessed the wonders of the Matrix of Prescience Ultima, she decides to ask Fu Xuan for the Matrix's help in rediscovering her past.
Farther Than the Snow Plains focuses on the youngest member of the Landau family. Lynx returns from an expedition with something troubling her, and her siblings, Serval and Japard, are at a loss to help. They decide to seek the assistance of none other than the Trailblazer.
And last but not least, Mohashle. Wildfire member and Fight Club reigning champion Luca has returned to Boulder Town. He wastes no time in inviting the Trailblazer and Zila to help him in completing a special bout of training.
Ooh, nice cinematic read there, Albert. I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh, those names are so intriguing. I feel like these missions will answer a lot of questions. Like, why is Bailu the current Vidyadhara High Elder? And is March 7th truly as many people suspect?
This is hardly the domain of unverified rumors. Ours is a serious program.
Serious? More like bubble tea gossip central.
Speaking of bubble tea, fine, I'll wait.
In our next segment, we'll be
ini
talking
kan
version
Arum
1.3
Hosto
events.
Battle ya.
Exalting Sanctum's Aurum Alley was once a hub of commerce and crowds, but has gradually fallen into obscurity over the last millennium. The blink of an eye for a long-life species. And now, as the IPC's corporate interference encroaches upon the Laofu, the people sense danger and are striving to breathe new life into old trades. In the Aurum Alley's Hustle and Bustle event, Trailblazers are thrown right into the action with an opportunity to influence the alley's ultimate fate.
Wait. What do we need to do exactly?
Well, shops of numerous sizes can be found in the newly reopened Aurum Alley district. By arranging cargo shipments and planning logistics routes, trailblazers can accumulate funds. These funds can be used to progressively revamp the urban landscape of Arum Alley, helping it return to its former glory.
By achieving goals in this limited time event, players can earn self-modeling resin, tracks of destiny, stellar jade, and 4-star character Sushang.
Oh, dapat
Following
susah.
this limited time event, Arum Alley
Dapat susah
will
nanti,
remain in the game as a permanent mode. This mode includes rewards
Ini apa
such as the Arum Alley themed
Whoa.
phone wallpaper, Ingenium Dreams.
What? That's something we haven't seen before?
That's right. Phone wallpapers
Oke,
are a
ini kayaknya
new
bisa
feature
ganti
being
nih.
added to version
Phone
1.3.
wallpapernya, wait,
Trailblazers can
ganti
browse and
phone
replace their
wallpaper.
wallpapers using the in-game mobile menu.
Wih, mantap
so
nih, ganti
pretty.
phone wallpaper.
Isn't it? All right, folks. It's time to talk about a big update to the
Universe
simulated
Sound
universe.
Station.
Finally! I thought for a moment you might have accidentally left it out.
The cheek! How could I, your humble living servant, make you wait?
I mean, we're still waiting on those bubble teas, so I'm just saying.
In any case, the update is the collaborative effort of 4 genius minds. They call it Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster. They completed a broad spectrum of structural renovations purely to investigate the fall of an eon.
The Swarm Disaster. Sounds like it might have something to do with what is that eon's name again? Tazy something?
Tazeroth, the Eon of Propagation.
That's the one.
Interesting. What motivated Herta and her team to research the Imperator Insectorum?
Ooh, I'll tell you. From the story so far, we've heard that the propagation once caused a major swarm, which spread throughout the universe. This eventually caught the attention of multiple eons who united to eradicate it. This event involved more eons than any other recorded event in history, which of course makes it an excellent research subject.
So that's how it is.
In order to delve into this complicated history, Herta and her team have developed various new methods of exploration. In Simulated Universe, the Swarm Disaster, the stage maps will appear in a format similar to a chessboard. Trailblazers will need to navigate through randomly generated domains and tackle a variety of challenges before making it to the deepest parts of the simulation.
I'm assuming these geniuses had more in mind than simply maneuvering around a grid.
Right you are. In order to
Oke,
simulate
di
the
sini
experiences of
logonya
different
juga
path
ganti
striders
kayaknya sih,
and
Mas.
resonate
One
with the
Sister.
eons, a brilliant mind named Steven developed the audience die and communing device.
Oh, audience die? Oh, come on, Albert. That's not a nice thing to say to the audience.
Die as in singular for dice.
Okay.
It has to do with the eons bestowing random gifts upon path striders. Before progressing each turn, use the communing device to roll the audience die. This will generate special effects for the current turn. These special effects might provide our team with powerful buffs, or alter the chessboard in some way, or even create further variables for subsequent actions. The chessboard and grids are superficial. The true intent of the geniuses is to delve into the mysteries of the eons. Each exploration will encompass 3 planes corresponding to Imperator Insectorum's emergence, expansion, and demise. Trailblazers will encounter simulated historical events during these phases, and different responses will lead to different outcomes.
But do these simulations really recreate the truth?
The official response is that due to the many historical unknowns, all potential outcomes are valuable. The data helps us infer the most probable truth.
And the unofficial response?
Madam Herta said, and I quote, "You can't prove that the past wasn't like this, can you?"
How exceptional. Undeniably a genius.
Madam Herta has also developed a path space for the express purpose of enhancing the resonance between trailblazers and their paths. As a trailblazer, every action you take that aligns with your path during exploration can help you to obtain path energy, leading you closer to the eons.
And what can we expect when we get closer to the eons?
Once you have sufficient path energy, you'll be able to unlock specific buffs and the chance to interact directly with the corresponding eon, thereby uncovering their part in the swarm disaster.
Okay, so we've been hearing those words a lot, but none of this feels swarmish or disastery enough to me.
Say no more. In the final domain of the third plane of each exploration, Trailblazers will encounter a brand new enemy, the Swarm True Sting. True Stings have the ability to divide and create more swarms. If not dealt with promptly, the entire battlefield will eventually be overrun by the swarm. Sufficiently swarmy? Suitably disastery?
Yeah, okay, that's plenty. Gives me the creeps just thinking about it.
Finally, upon clearing Simulated Universe, the swarm disaster, the brand new path of propagation will be unlocked within the Simulated Universe.
What a roller coaster. That's a big update, all right.
And big updates need big rewards. Take note. Aside from Stellar Jade and numerous other materials, the Swarm Disaster rewards include 2 self-modeling resins.
Those things are rarer than rare. Are there really 2 up for grabs?
You better believe it. And I highly encourage Trailblazers to give it a go. Next up is the Space Station Task Force event. Revitalizing the space station is no small undertaking. If we want to speed things up, we'll need to enlist the help of a task force with special permissions. Watson has lined up all the assignments that require attention. Over to you, Trailblazers. During the event, by assembling a team that meets the requirements of specific assignments, you'll be able to earn rewards such as Stellar Jade and character experience materials.
And as the message makes clear, there will be requests and assignments every day. It's almost impossible to finish them all.
Version 1.3 will also see the return of the Planar Fissure and Garden of Plenty events.
Double lagi.
During the
Tuh,
respective
kalian.
events, successfully challenging the simulated
Plenty.
universe and calyxes can
Calyx
earn you a
Golden
set
Wolf
amount
makanya akan
of
ada
double
di
rewards.
buff ya. Mungkin double-
At the same time,
double
version
reward?
1.3 will unlock 2 new stagnant
double
shadow
reward lagi.
stages, Shape of Puppetry and Shape of Abomination. The former will drop Suppressing Edict,
Oh, ini
Ascension
apa fungsinya
material
baru,
required for Don Hung and Bibiter Lune. The latter will drop Nail of
Oh,
the
ini
Eight,
maksudnya baru
Ascension
sih ya.
material required for Fu Xuan.
Whoa, all
app.
that too?
Oh, and I'm not done with you yet.
Castle of
Version
Observation
1.3 system
Mortal
updates
Ruins.
are just as momentous. First off, after the version 1.3
Max
update,
Trailblaze will
the
increase
Trailblaze power
Result
cap
Trailblaze
will be
power.
raised from 180 to
Oh,
240.
jadi dari 180
Exactly
ke
the amount that
240 berarti
regenerates in a
1
day.
jamnya itu
Once Trailblaze power
10 ya?
maxes out, a percentage of the surplus is converted into reserved Trailblaze power.
So in other words, if you forget to log on, you won't have wasted much Trailblaze power.
And here's something else. The 1.3 update will also bring changes to the friends and chat systems,
Oke, di
which
sini
include
akun GM.
being able to sort your friends. And
tulisannya kayak
Trailblazers
gitu ya?
not currently accepting new friend requests can choose to disable them in settings.
itu
Eyes on the
accept
cake,
request request.
you can
Oh,
now
bisa
send
di
emojis
auto
in
ya.
chats.
At last, bring on the pom-pom and March 7th emojis.
Oke,
Yeah.
Nice.
Game.
Fingers crossed for some authentic boomer material.
And of course, we have the crowd favorite, Gift of Odyssey Chicken
Oke, ini dia
Rewards.
yang
Logging in
paling
for
ditunggu
7
ya.
days
Ini
gets you
dapat
10
10
warps. It might just be your lucky break.
Nicholas, I admire your confidence.
Last
Last but not least, Honkai Star Rail will
Gamescom.
also be a part of this year's Gamescom. What surprising updates await us? Watch this space, Trailblazers.
Yeah.
So cool.
Nice.
Let's roll out today's final redemption code.
Rhythm code ketiga. Rhythm code ketiga ASN 6CH. ASN 6CH. ASN 6CHX BRHW3. Oke, totalnya berarti udah 3 ya, 3 redeem code. 3 redeem code berarti udah muncul semua. Ini tinggal penutup ya. Acara penutup. Acara penutup dari live event ini udah berapa menit? Dia udah 40 menit ya. Ini lama banget untuk live eventnya.
All good things must come to an end.
Yang
So much today's special program. We've covered quite a bit about the 1.3 update. Any thoughts or feelings?
Yang di belakang. Ya, sepertinya itu ayam mungkin.
Be the characters. Dan Heng and Baibuder Lune, Fu Xuan, and Lynx are all special in their own way. I just hope I get lucky with the warps.
And as for me, I'm super excited about the simulated universe update. The new gameplay and story aspects sound brilliant.
Yeah. Well, since you guys covered the obvious, I'll go for something a little different. I feel like this version's quality of life enhancements are really good. I love the Trailblaze power cap increase and the new Reserve Trailblaze power feature. They may sound minor, but I think they'll make a big difference to the experience.
Oh, totally. And I'm sure the gaming experience will keep improving as the updates keep rolling. Well, that's it for the Honkai Star Rail version 1.3 special program. As always, thanks again to all you Trailblazers for tuning in. And may our paths cross again soon.
Bye, guys!
Catch you later.
See you next time.
Bubble tea, bubble tea. Bubble tea.
Fine.
Yeah.
Penutup ada leaks gitu? Oh, nggak ada ya. Langsung habis ini. Epic Game Store ya udah habis. Berarti untuk ininya spesial programnya. Oke, mungkin segitu tentang spesial program di sini. Bye. Let's go ya. Jadi yang baru itu ada ini ya. Jadi yang bukan resin ya, kalau di sini namanya kayak stamina itu dia nama jadi 240 ya dari 180. Terus bannernya tadi nggak tahu yang duluan yang mana itu, antara MBB itu sama Puxuan ya. Soalnya sini nggak ada terjemahannya ya, sini kagak ada terjemahannya nih, jadi agak bingung juga untuk tadi ya. Lalu apa lagi tadi? Tadi ada event mungkin double reward ya, double reward untuk goal ya, buat dapetin goal Mara mungkin ya namanya. Terus nanti aku ada event lagi ya, sini selesai ya untuk event. Oke, mungkin itu tentang live eventnya. Mungkin akan saya coba pecah-pecah ya untuk videonya. Oke, itu tentang